Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I rise to add my welcome to the Mighty Macs women's basketball team from Immaculata University and all the current Immaculata University administrators that have accompanied them today as my guests in the Capitol. We are delighted to have them with us. As we analyze and think about the NCAA women's tournament selections happening tonight and Saturday's starting tip-offs, I'm proud to announce that Immaculata University, located in Malvern, Pennsylvania, in the heart of my legislative district, will be celebrating 1 week from today the 40th anniversary of what became the first of its 3 national women's basketball championships. This feat would be impressive in and of itself, but truly appreciating the significance of this event requires us to place it in a larger cultural and societal context. 40 years ago, women's sports in the 1970s were not seen as being on par with men's sports, nor with athletes and their abilities given the same respect and respect that they deserved. In fact, it was only 1 year before that first championship year, in 1972, that women's rules were changed to move the game from what was then a 6-on-6 game, so 6 players on each side in the court, played on a half-court basis, to changing the rules right before that season to what you and I know as the 5-on-5 full-court game. In addition to that, it's interesting to note for basketball buffs out there that it was only after the 3 championship seasons of Immaculata in 72, 73, and 74 that women's basketball became an Olympic sport for the first time in the 1976 Montreal Olympics. Known as the Mighty Macs, Immaculata University's championship teams of the early 70s contributed mightily to moving women's sports to prominence and raising the profile and respect of athletic endeavors for women and girls, and with good reason. This college in the cornfield, as it was affectionately known in those days by the local community, then as now, was run by the Sisters, the Servants of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, is a Catholic university. At the time, it was all women, only 500 students. From this small arena, this team launched a mighty dynasty. The Mighty Macs played in and won the first 3 ever National Women's College Basketball Championships, held in 1972, 1973, and 1974. And over those 3 seasons, the Mighty Macs compiled over 70 victories, including wins over the largest universities in the nation. In fact, its dominance in those heydays of the 1970s is reflected in the fact that during her 7 seasons at the helm, Coach Kathy Rush, from 1971 to 1977, led the team to an amazing record of 149-15. 149 wins and only 15 losses in those 7 seasons, including the 3 championship seasons of the early 70s, certainly earning her quite really a spot in the National Basketball Hall of Fame. And on top of all this, let me just add a few other firsts with which these Mighty Macs were involved and should be credited for. They were the first of 2 teams to play in the first ever women's college basketball game in the fabled Madison Square Garden. And you know you've arrived, of course, when you played in Madison Square Garden. They were the first American women's college team to compete outside the United States when they competed in an 18-game tour of Australia the summer of 1974. And they participated in the first ever nationally televised regular season women's college basketball game when they took down the Tarpons at the University of Maryland on January 27, 1975. So given this groundbreaking role that the Mighty Macs have played for college women's basketball and women's sports in general, it's no wonder that Immaculata University is regarded as the birthplace of modern women's college basketball. And that's why it's been chronicled in the movie, The Mighty Macs, which of course has been out in the theaters to much acclaim, as it shows you the drive toward that first championship season in 1972. So I would like to conclude by again asking if the team would rise. These are truly trailblazers for women's sports in this country, and I want to make sure that the House really recognizes the historical significance of what these ladies did. If the Mighty Macs would rise once again.